Have you heard opening a Swiss bank account is almost impossible for foreigners? Well, that's just not true, because after helping clients safely move tens of millions to Switzerland in the first 4 months of this year alone, I've discovered the exact reason why most people fail at opening, and I've come up with a simple and secure way around it. So in this video, I'm going to show you this guaranteed account opening process so you can start opening your own Swiss bank accounts right now. Alright, so this process has 3 steps, and step number 1 is bank selection. This first step is critical. In fact, the only step that's more important than bank selection is step number 3. But if you get bank selection wrong, step number 3 doesn't matter because your applications will just be rejected automatically. So the question that we need to answer here is, how do you know which Swiss banks to choose? Well, there are 3 questions that you need to answer in order to narrow down your options. And this is how we think of them. So question number 1 is about citizenship, or more importantly, are you an American? If you are an American, there are Swiss banks that will accept you. In fact, we help American clients open Swiss bank accounts all the time. But if you're not an American, say you're a Canadian, British, German, or Australian citizen, then you'll have many more Swiss banks that you can choose from instead. Now, question number 2 is, what's your money plan? Basically, what I'm asking is, what do you plan on doing with the money that you put in the account? Do you just want to hold cash? Do you want the bank to invest for you? Or do you want to invest for yourself? These are all important questions because certain Swiss banks are going to expect you to invest, maybe even invest through the bank. So you need to select a bank that actually aligns with what you're looking for. And actually in step 2, I'll dig into this a bit more and answer the big questions of why certain people get approved by Swiss banks while other people continue to get rejected. But before we get into step 2, we need to answer the third question that will help narrow down your Swiss banking options, which is, why do you want to bank in Switzerland? Look, if you're just looking to secure some money with trustworthy banks, there are plenty of Swiss banks that will work for you. But if you're looking for more specialized help, like tax advisory, structuring, even financing options, then there are usually specific banks that will be a good fit for you or your citizenship. And this is exactly how our team looks at it. We take your answers to these questions and many more and narrow down the specific banks where you can actually qualify to open. And by the way, if you just want us to tell you if you qualify for a Swiss bank account or not, you can click the link at the top of the description, fill out a form, and we'll be happy to do that for you for free. Okay, again, selecting the right bank is important, but it's not the only challenge that you're going to face, because you still need to be a desirable customer for the bank, even to the banker, which is why step number 2 in opening your Swiss bank account is increasing your attractiveness. Now, what I'm talking about is helping you become more attractive to Swiss bankers. And it all comes down to 2 factors. First, how profitable you'll be for the bank. This gets back to the question about your money plans, because at the end of the day, banks are businesses and they want to generate a return. And the way that Swiss banks generate returns depends on how you want to use the account. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret. Swiss banking, it's not fugazi like everyone makes it seem. During the application process, the bank will actually break down all of your options for you. They do this in what's called a private banking mandate. It will name all the services, related fees, and basically explain how the bank is going to make you money. It's their offer to you as a prospective customer. And if you want to invest, you'll see fees related to investment advisory, trading, even custody. If you don't want to invest and you just want to hold cash or fixed deposits, you might be offered a flat rate for opening and maintaining the account instead. The point is, how you plan to use the account matters, because that's how the bank is able to understand their potential profits. Now, there's another factor that influences how attractive you are to banks, and this one is about reducing downside risk for the bank and increasing the chances that you'll be a good fit. And one way to do this is through warm introductions. Now, I do want to be really clear here. You do not need an introduction to open a Swiss bank account. You can contact banks on your own. But make no mistake, there is a difference when you receive a warm, trusted introduction. It's the difference between walking into a busy 5-star restaurant off the street on a Friday night versus having a trusted friend of the owner call ahead and ask him to take care of you. The point is, with an introduction, you get taken seriously. And depending on who's introducing you, you might even get VIP treatment. And it's the same thing with private banks. The right introduction changes everything. And that's why direct introductions are a key part of our international account opening service, directly connecting our clients with bankers who actually want them as customers and who've already pre-qualified their profiles before they even submit an application. But even the warmest introductions can't help you open a Swiss bank account if you don't know how to overcome the third and final step in this process, which we're going to dive into right now. So step 3 is all about money. More specifically, deciding how much money you want to keep with the bank. Now, before I explain this further, it is important to remind you, Switzerland is a private banking hub, And that means that opening deposits are going to start around $500,000, though you'll be much better off if you come in with at least $1 million. Of course, there are lower deposit options available, including accounts that will start with as low as $100,000, but here you're not getting traditional private banking, and you're usually looking at high fee accounts since the banks, they can't generate a meaningful return on $100,000. Now, I appreciate that everyone's in a different financial position, and maybe you have a specific amount in mind that you want to deposit when opening. So here's what you can do. If you tell us the amount that you want to deposit, when you fill out the free assessment in the description right there, we'll let you know if you can qualify for a Swiss bank account or not. And if not, we'll even tell you which other banking hubs you might want to consider instead. So it's really a no-brainer. Okay, back to money, because it's not just about how much you want to deposit, though that is an extremely important consideration. It's also about how much you will keep in your account. See, when it comes to Swiss banking, you should be expecting your account balance to grow over time, not decrease. And that's because as the bank continues to make you money, you should be maintaining or growing the balance that you keep with the bank. Now, you might be thinking, well, what if I want to use my cash? And that's a fair question, but this is private banking. So selling investments and triggering capital gains taxes in order to access some cash, it's not the way to go. Instead, your Swiss banker will offer you other ways to use your capital. Because while most people tell you offshore bank accounts can't reduce your taxes, that's not entirely true. Because there are 3 super effective tax reduction strategies that anyone can use without fancy structures, offshore trusts, or even millions of dollars in investments. And I walk you through these 3 strategies in this video right here. So if you want to see how a new private bank account can help you pay less tax while keeping your money better protected, give this video a click right here and I'll see you over there.